Warning, possible minor spoilers are in this review, so yeah, skip to further in to miss all that. Hello and welcome to Rule of Three's video review for Bioshock Infinite, a first-person shooter developed by Irrational Games and published by 2K. I'm Roy Mannon, and with me today are, like usual, our Synyster Dreamer. How are you doing today?
Pretty well, and yourself?
Doing good. And Impressions, how you doing?
Doing good. Glad to be back.
All right, so Bioshock Infinite is the third game in the Bioshock series. So, as is this a series, we always give kind of a brief background of, what we played with the series. And my background with Bioshock is I've only played the first. I've played a little bit of the second, not a whole lot. I own it because I got it for free on PSN from PS Plus, but haven't touched it. The original Bioshock was fun. I enjoyed it. I don't think it's I don't think it's the greatest game ever, or it was fun and enjoyable, but I play again really for the most part. Impressions? Let's go with you next.
I did play one. I don't get super far into it, and I don't know if it was so much the story. I just wasn't drawn into the world as much as I was for this one in Infinite. Because this one was like bright and colorful, where the other one was really dismal. But I agree, it is a solid game. Definitely one of the landmark games that have come out in our time. But yeah, go ahead.
Synyster?
This would be game 3. I've played all 3 games and beat them all. I do have to say, I actually really enjoyed this one more than the other 2. I don't know, maybe it's just because of the actual storyline and just how things were going. It captured me more than what Bioshock 1 and 2 had for a storyline.
Alright, and with that, let's actually go into the story of Bioshock Infinite. So, Bioshock Infinite takes place in 1912 in the flying city of Columbia. It is run by a man named, what's his name? The Prophet?
Commonwealth?
Cromwell.
Yeah.
Run by a man named Cromwell, who is a self-proclaimed prophet, and basically he's leading a utopia city. You play as a character named DeWitt, who is hired to go into Columbia and rescue a girl named Elizabeth, who is being held there for some unknown reason. Originally, DeWitt is only told that he is to rescue the girl to repay the debt because he's in debt of some sort, and that's all you're really told at the beginning. And then you get to Columbia, and pretty much shit hits the fan.
Doesn't hit the fan as quick. You get there and you kind of start piecing things together, going, wait a second, things don't sound like they're gonna go. Oh, there it goes.
Very quickly, let me rephrase that. It very quickly hits the fan and goes crazy. Now it's really hard to talk about the story of Infinite because it is so as soon as you get past the first 20 minutes and really when you first get to Elizabeth, you hit I don't know, spoiler galore, because the story is very complex in this one.
We can't really talk much about the story because the fact that the whole story is based around you going around doing stuff, and all I can wrap it up into it is time travel.
Story-wise, this is like Synyster said earlier. The story in this one's very heavy and is very enjoyable. I enjoyed it very much, and is the reason I kept playing. Honestly, is I kind of got sucked into the world a little bit more. Yeah, Columbia is just very beautiful, and the lore of the world of at least Infinite was very well done.
Where does it fall on the series timeline?
It's a prequel.
So
it takes place before Bioshock.
Yeah, I mean, because obviously I've played Bioshock, and there was obviously the lighthouse, and that's the first thing you see in the game is always.
Yeah.
And the opening is very similar. I mean, obviously it's kind of like their formula. You enter the lighthouse, you get taken into this world, and then you hit the fan.
Yeah, so. Once again, I could say stuff, but spoil it. I like the story. Like I said, I thought it was a strong point. Synyster.
What?
What's your, obviously you've already said it, but just restate, how much you like the story.
It captured me into the game, and anytime I had a chance to play it, I was trying to finish the game up.
And impressions.
The story is interesting. It is definitely a good reason to play this game. For me, it was just time/motivation factors, because I have stuff going on that I wasn't able to put as much time as I wanted to in it. But I definitely do want to figure out what the heck is going on especially after you reach Elizabeth. That's pretty much the goal if you ever do pick up this game. Get to Elizabeth, and then you'll see if you want to play this game more.
Yeah, and let's talk about characters for a little bit, because I think that's what it does way better than the previous Bioshock games. I think that's why the story's a lot stronger, is mostly because of Elizabeth.
That and you get actual more information about your character too. Because,
Well,
Yeah.
like in the
I don't even
original
remember.
Bioshocks, it was, hey, you're this guy, now go.
Did you even have a name? I don't even remember. You.
I I don't even.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it fails that test. That character name test.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't even
versus
remember.
this one, I know I'm playing DeWitt.
Yeah, Booker DeWitt. There we
Booker
go.
DeWitt.
Your character's actually recognized, and people are always interacting with you. Like in the first two games, it was like, okay, you're a character. I think 2 is more or less when they got to, oh, you're such and such.
Well, you're Big
Don't you-
Daddy in that one, aren't you?
Yeah, but you were a former somebody who
Yeah.
came back.
But I mean, characters in this one I thought were a lot more flushed out. Like I said, Elizabeth's one of my favorite characters in gaming history, just because of the way she's portrayed and done. She's not, a princess character, because she does handle herself very well.
Yes.
And I don't know, there's something about her was just drew me in. And then Booker was like the complete opposite of her, so it's interesting seeing their relationship.
And the twins.
Yeah.
OMG, the twins.
Anyway, so let's get off of story, because like I said, it's really hard to go into any of this without getting any spoilers away.
It's hard to even talk about this game without spoilers because
No.
of how they built it.
I don't know. But anyway, just know that everything is very good, and at least my opinion, Synyster said he agrees. Impressions, if he had time, would probably agree, but still agrees to some extent, right?
No, anytime it's you already told them. Anytime it's time travel, I'm sold. I usually like that type of storyline.
So anyway, let's go into gameplay now, so we don't
Right.
spoil anything. We accidentally spoil something eventually, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Continue listening at your own risk at this point.
Put that in the beginning.
Yeah, just input that. Yeah, cut that into the beginning and say, oh, it's fine.
Will do. So anyway, gameplay. So obviously I said it's a first-person shooter. The mechanics of it are, you can hold 2 guns and you can switch them out by picking them up off the floor and in ammunition cases. You can hold ammo for all the guns though at any time. I didn't, it's very generic, and I actually didn't care for the shooting as much. I don't know if it's because I didn't like the health bar from when I got headshots and it did very little damage, or the fact that aiming was a little tougher.
Did you tweak the controls at all?
Yeah, well, no, I didn't. I did the defaults it better when you tweak them.
Yes,
Yeah.
so much better. Oh my god.
Yeah, when you actually set the settings, you can actually do a lot better.
It goes from Halo to any, you know how Halo you push down on the stick to aim down sight, which I think is the stupidest thing ever. So it makes it so that L1 is iron sights and R1 to fire.
Oh.
Yeah, they had different button layouts. Like
As soon as I figured that out, the game improved immediately, like 100%.
Okay, well, obviously that was some of my issues, but it could take care of. But I still, as a whole, I don't know. Shooting.
Have you finished it? Have you finished the game?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I was gonna say you can still switch back.
Well, I did play. We'll get into it later. There's another mode I want to try out, or I've been trying out. That's kind of interesting, and we'll talk about that. I'll talk about that a little bit. Synyster may have some experience I want to talk about. So anyway, what was your guys' shooting experience in the game? Did you enjoy it a lot?
after switching up the gun controls and getting the new button configuration, yeah. I played it at the beginning. I'm like, oh, default. No, I'm not gonna like this. Let's go options. Oh, there we go. There's the button configuration. I know. All right, let's go play Modern Warfare. Pretty much.
Impressions?
Yeah, same deal. I mean, you didn't do much at the beginning because you're just exploring, and then I entered there's a basically the tutorial shooting mode, and then I really hated it. It's like I can't hit anything. Then I realized you have the option to switch, and after that happened, it was so much better.
Okay, so things I learned from doing this is mess with the controls if I don't like it at first, because I'll probably improve it. Anyway, so with that, I want to go into the guns real quick. I didn't find any of the guns, particularly overpowered, which is good. I, didn't mind switching out guns if I had to, except for 2 get achievements, but that's my own, achievement whore issue. But I liked all the guns. I thought they all worked fairly well.
For me, I kind of stuck with like the carbine and either there's 2 versions of the machine gun. One's a 3-round burst, one's just like a fully automatic machine gun. But I tend to find myself with just those two guns and then the hand cannon. They call it,
Yeah.
just the revolver.
Yeah.
God, that thing was amazing up
I
close.
love that gun.
Boom.
I love the hand cannon. Impressions, what are your takes on the guns?
They're fine. I mean, no, again, the hand cannon would be one good standout, but for the most part, I actually spammed melee a lot more than I probably should have.
And let's go into melee real quick since we're talking about fighting.
Speaking of shit hitting the fan,
Yes, yeah. So the melee in this combat is, you know, like you just go up and punch somebody, but you're not just punching people, you're punching them with like a sky hook thing that
it's a fan.
yeah, literally it's kind of like with a fan. Anyway, as soon as they're damaged enough, you can go over them and do a brutal execution. And when I say brutal executions, I mean you usually explode their heads. And it was pretty gruesome, but I didn't do it a whole lot because I don't know if it was just the difficulty I was on. I had troubles getting into melee a lot.
I even had trouble getting melee because the fact that it's like shooting guys, you had to hit them just enough to get the skull get above their head to do the finisher move. But a lot of times I found myself further away, so it's like I can't get to him, and I can kill him from distance to get to where I need to go.
That's why you use your powers. What are they called again?
Vigors or vigors.
Vigors. Nice.
Yeah. So now that you brought up, let's go into vigor. So like the other Bioshock games, instead of Adam giving you powers, you get vigors, which give you powers. And there's what, 8 of them?
Told you.
Yes.
Yeah. Alright, and you can have a combination of any two, like, and then switch between those two without having to, like, open the option and change it. Now, the cool thing about this one is I don't know if they did this in 2, and I don't remember it in 1, is if you have the right powers combined, you can totally do combos with them. So, like, my favorite one was, I had an electricity one and a water one. I would shock them and then throw water on them, and then they would explode. It was the greatest thing ever.
I think this is the first game they really did combination-wise. I don't remember in 2, but I think there might have been something similar.
No, there had to be, because that's actually what drew me into Bioshock when I first tried it out.
Was the combination of powers?
Someone told me, maybe it was 2, I don't remember doing it in 1, I just probably didn't get to that point.
I think in 2 they had something similar.
It must have been, okay, it must have been 2 then, but yeah, someone mentioned to me the system wherein you combine powers, elements in particular, to get to great effect, so that's what made me curious about the series, actually.
I found myself using the electricity and the ram.
Oh, that one's pretty good.
Shock 'em.
Ram.
Run burst. Boom. Get 'em all.
Yeah, like I said, I use the water electricity one and flaming crows. I like that one too. Flaming crows is pretty fun.
I upgraded the first one. The first one I got was possession, and I immediately upgraded it so it could work on people.
Yeah, that was a no-brainer.
That was funny.
So anyway, powers, I like them in this game. They're all fun and useful.
I liked them better in this game than I did in the others. I found the vigors for this game a lot more entertaining.
There was definitely a refinement on their part. So.
Alright, so with that, let's move into the next gameplay I want to talk about, which is the actual skylines. Now, we talked about melee, you use the skyline hook. In the game, you can actually use these to, like, jump on the really, like, magnetic hooks and railways and, like, travel and shoot and do, like, jump melee attacks that were kind of fun. And I like the skylines. They were fun, if anything else. Just because I like racing them on.
The skyhooks were kind of interesting. It was like, okay, I need to get up somewhere higher. Well, there's the line I can ride, and okay, I can get up there.
Well, I also use them to do hit and runs. Like, I would jump on a skyline, do a melee attack down, and then jump back on it and do it again, and just kind of do like a hit and run. It was awesome. Saves ammo. Impressions? What's your take on the skylines?
It felt like first-person Assassin's Creed and Spider-Man combined.
There you go. First-person Spider-Man with Assassin's Creed.
It was fun. I mean, again, it complements the fact that this is a city in the sky. That's how they get around, as opposed to in 1 you're underwater, so you had to work around like subs and all that, if I recall correctly. And it made it a little more fast-paced, and I think that's a huge part of why this game is a lot more successful.
Yeah. Alright, so now I want to go into the upgrade system. Now, I believe Impressions said that, he upgraded his, possession. And upgrading's a big part, because you can upgrade not only your powers to do bonus damage and better things or whatever. You can also upgrade the guns to do more damage, have faster reloads, passing, a bunch of other stuff. At all costs, you know, you find money in the world and you spend it on it. And
Which I'm still trying to figure out where Elizabeth keeps finding coins.
yeah, we'll get to Elizabeth after this part. Money was a little bit harder to come by, so you couldn't.
Yeah, I was just basically spamming square every time I walked around.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did for coins, but you can't. Once again, you don't get all the upgrades, so you kind of have to be picky and choosy which ones you get. As I found later on in the game, which I knew that early on. I would have done a few things differently, but I like the upgrade system. Once again,
There's no respecking.
no, there's not. You don't get your back.
77.
But like I said, I thought all the, it was a nice little choice. Money wasn't so, everywhere that you could just go, oh, I have all the money, I'm just going to buy everything. It was a really, you had enough money, choose well kind of
Yeah.
deal.
They made it actually to put a choice in the game, so it wasn't just, I can roll around in here and not care. No, you actually had to choose, like, okay, what main weapon do you want to hold on to? What other gun do you want to have your second level to have upgraded? It made a lot of choices for this game.
Again, money was really hard to come by, so like you said, you have to pick and choose. And if anything, that is one thing about the game that I didn't care about, is just how cumbersome it was to have to dig through everything just to get money.
Yeah,
So,
that was kind of annoying. I will admit that.
I mean, it just slowed you down, because you enter a room and you kind of want to take since money is so scarce, you want to take the time to explore each wall, see if there's a context sensitive place that you can search for money, just in case. Whereas I guess when it's combat, what I ended up doing was just when the second I kill somebody, I walk away the body and spam square, because again, after you quote unquote pick up an item, you still have to so like take all of it. So it was just really, I think they could have done better as far as that system was concerned.
Yeah. Okay, so next we're gonna go into Elizabeth. Elizabeth actually has a huge gameplay element tied to her. And I gotta be very careful how I word this, because once again, spoilers. So anyway, since you are rescuing Elizabeth from the city, she is with you pretty much the entire game. There's only a few sections she's not there. And she is able to find you ammo, like salt, which gives you more magic to do your abilities, and money. And money becomes very important. She can also pick locks and make things appear.
Yeah, and also she gives you health items when you get low.
And now she doesn't do this, every 30 seconds from exactly when you need it, but she will do it every now and then.
She'll let you know that, hey, I found this, or hey, I can't find anything at the moment.
Yeah, she'll let you know. And the nice thing is you don't have to protect her. She does her own thing. She can take care of herself. She's a big girl. And I like Elizabeth just for the fact that, she would find me health items when I needed it, or ammo when I needed it. Now, every time I needed it, she didn't always find it, but it was nice a few times, she actually helped save my butt. She made me feel I was glad to have her with me. She was not a burden at all. And then it was also just having her nice constant companion the entire game. She was just very nice to have around. And I enjoy everything she did in this game for me. Impressions?
Yeah, definitely. It adds personality to the game, which one, and I don't know much of two, but one definitely was lacking. So they really compensated for it this time around. And plus, I think that plays into the whole, I don't know what to call this particular trope, but just having that companion around just motivates you to progress. Because, oh, yeah, it's my friend, I'm gonna save her, or that kind of thing. I think Shadow of the Colossus and Ico.
There you go.
Yeah, so.
Synyster.
It was actually really nice having Elizabeth around. When the sections that she wasn't around and I'm going around by myself, I was like, oh, crap. Alright, finding ammo. Where's ammo? I need ammo.
Don't take it for granted, damn it.
Yes, when she is not there, you will notice, because it's like, my angel's gone. She cannot save me now. She also saves your ass when you died.
Yes.
She resurrects you.
Otherwise, you
got a really boring cut, re-animation video.
Yeah.
It sucked. It's better when she helped you out, injecting you with crap, which I don't know what she's injecting you with.
Salt.
Just stuff.
Stuff. No, it's not salt because it's green. Salt was like,
Well,
it might be salt. But...
Considering salt would probably burn the hell out of your insides.
Yeah. Alright, so once again, I don't want to get into spoilers because it's Elizabeth and she's a very big part of the story, but gameplay-wise, she works very well, as we all pretty much agree. Last thing I want to go into are the collectibles, and by collectibles, I mean of audio logs that are all over the place, and health, shield, and salt upgrades, as well as lock picks, I guess, because those have hidden stuff in them.
The certain lock picks that required lock picks
Had
gave
more
you certain
stuff.
items behind them because it was either something special or it was just, hey, look, here's something you might need.
Like a lot of money. Anyway, so we'll start with the bottom one, the least important collectible, which are obviously locks and lock picks that unlock a lot of them, have a lot of hidden stuff behind them. I thought the warp system worked very well about midway in the game. Early game and mid game, it became a little bit more picky choosy what I unlocked.
Yeah, I found it like if if I had known about what would happen earlier, I probably wouldn't have picked a lot of the lock picks I did in the beginning because it's like later towards the middle and end, I'm like sitting there going, crap, I don't have any locks or lock picks to pick lock anymore.
Yeah. Questions?
So, I mean, so basically save all the lock picking for last. Is that what you guys were saying?
Save for mid.
Mid.
Don't open like the first couple of doors. Well, open 1 or 2 of them, but don't like if it's asked for like 5, don't worry about it.
Basically, if you can see into the room that you want to lock pick, check it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they'll be a building that you can look through the windows and see what's inside, and if you see something that you need, you
Go
can
for it.
go for it. Otherwise, the building's just a lure.
Alright. So, any thoughts on it though? Just lockpicking in general.
I wish I had known, like you guys, to pretty much. I think we all ran into the same problem.
Okay, so the next one is I want to go into the upgrades for health, vigor, and shield. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't notice really any change when I got them at first. I got them and upgraded. I did health first, then shield, and then I didn't really get any salt because I didn't find all of them. But I don't know. I didn't really notice. At least with shield, health was a little bit more noticeable, but it didn't go up that much. I was kind of disappointed at that.
I still died a lot. Not died. I mean, you take a lot of damage. I spend a lot of time taking cover just so that shit can regenerate.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the one thing I noticed with the shield, the infusion for the shield, was it didn't really boost that far, but it more or less boosted for me, was the ability to take a couple more bullets before my health started getting hit.
Okay, that might be what it was then, because I
noticed
didn't notice the bar was going up.
I noticed the bar would move a little, but not much, and it would basically, I could take a few more hits before it started affecting my health.
It just wasn't represented on the bar.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Otherwise, I thought, it was like the other one, so it was fine. Other than that, did you guys like it?
The shield or the
just being able to upgrade your health and stuff.
Oh yeah, obviously.
And how they did that.
Yeah, it was a good option. It basically gave you choices of, okay, do you want more health shields, or do you want salt, or do you want to just kind of spread it out through the 3 like I did, and have kind of a balanced person.
Would it have been better to to feed all the points into one?
If you did, in my opinion, if you did that, then probably no, because the fact that your salts, you start off with, I think, 2 shots for the salts. If you spam that all into like your health and shield, then you have 2 moves for your vigor, and that's about it.
Just kills any combos you got. You got to be careful with it.
Well, that's what I meant. My logic probably would be to put it all into salt right now, and just kind of hopefully be a little more aggressive and defensive when I'm fighting.
Yeah, see, I did a little bit more health and shields and didn't touch salt as much, and I kind of wish I had touched it a little more.
I did a balance, so I actually survived a lot, because I think I found like 7 or something. I don't know. Yeah. All I know is I had almost equal amount of health, shields, and salt.
Alright, so let's hurry and finish up. Going a little long on this one, sorry about that. Last thing I want to go in, well, actually there's 2 things because I remember something else. So next I want to talk about gramophones, or boxophones, right? Yeah. Anyway, they're audio logs that give you a little bit more background on what's actually going on in the story. They're hidden throughout the place. They're from pretty much every main character in the game. And I tried to find every single one of them because they gave me more story. And like I said, the story's awesome, so it was always fun to find those. Synyster.
The boxes were really good for being able to set more of the backstory, and you get information about certain people and things that are going on and how things are going. And it's like, okay, this is nice to have so that things get connected up in my mind. Before I felt like I shotgun blasted the brain.
Impressions.
You're definitely critical to backstory, and if you want to figure out what's going on, there's a lot of information in there. Aside from that, I personally felt no need to find them all. I'm not really a completionist like you guys, so yeah.
Okay, and then the last thing I totally forgot about until now is gear. You get 4 slots: a hat, a shirt, pants, and shoes that give you different do different things. And there's tons of them. You can mix and match depending on your play style. I liked gear. I felt some pieces were more useful than others, once again. But, I saw, how others could be useful.
Yeah, it all depended on the situation, or kind of the area you were in and how things were going, depending on what gear you wanted to switch in and out, depending on how much gear you actually had at that time. But it was I thought it was a really good set for a good game mechanic they added in, giving you the ability to change up how your person is.
And impressions.
Yeah, definitely good. Just to complement, it lets you emphasize whatever playstyle you want to go for, and just it works well with the powers and whatever guns you've leveled. Yeah, that's really all I can say. It works well as far as defining a playstyle.
All right, and with that, we're now going to go into our verdicts. Here at Rule of 3, we do not use a point system because we just don't. It's just not our style. Instead, we do a buy, rent, pass system. Buy means we think it's worth the full retail price of the game, because it's just fun enough and enough stuff in it to warrant it. Rent means we thought it was a good game, or even great, but not quite worth the full price. Maybe half or something. So wait for it to go on sale, or just rent it. Pass means we think you should just give it to a gorilla so he can have it or something, because it's not worth it. So anyway, I'll start off with it. This one, I give it a buy. While I didn't care for the shooting mechanics as much, I thought the story and everything else in it was just great. I forgot to mention this since I'm the only one I think who touched it. There's also another mode called 1999 mode, which I'm currently working on, which adds in a little bit of cooler stuff to it, like strategy, having to know what to pick. And I'm enjoying the crap out of that mode right now, and this game is awesome. I think it's by far one of the games I can use to make my arguments why video games should be put into academic learning at some point, because the story is awesome.
Just to also add on to yours, your issue was the shooting. I really think if you had switched to controls,
probably
fine.
Probably, but for now, that's my only issue. But it's still a buy. This game's still great otherwise. Impressions, go. As you talk.
I will give 2 particular. I'll explain. I think it's a buy. It does deserve to be played, bought at full price. It is worth it. And if you're a fan of the series, if you're a fan of first-person shooters, go for it. You'll enjoy it. Just me personally, I personally would just wait, because it is kind of it's kind of like an RPG, right?
Not really. There's no leveling system.
It's just you go.
But the thing is, yeah, it's just it's not my speed. I still like it. I just prefer
a little faster pace.
No. It's just more like I can wait. I didn't feel any particular need to progress right away.
Okay.
Yeah, Elizabeth does intrigue me. The story does intrigue me, especially with all the time travel. But again, that's just me personally. But still, the score I will submit for the review is a buy. I do think it's worth the full price and all that.
And Synyster.
I give it a buy. It caught my eye as a game to play, and after I got it and sat down and started playing it, I was just like, I didn't want to put it down, but it's like, okay, set it down. I'll come back later, pick it back up, play it again. I really enjoyed this game.
All right, so there you have it. 3 buys for Bioshock Infinite. There is a change to next week. Next game, next week's review. Originally it was going to be Defiance, but GameFly didn't send it to any of us. So unfortunately we can't do that. Instead, we're going to be doing Slender: The Arrival, which is an indie game that came out a little bit ago. Should be fun. See how far we get before we freak out and stop playing. So anyway, that'll be next week. So make sure to leave comments below for our Metro Last Light giveaway. Subscribe to our channel, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, all that good stuff. And thanks for listening, and make sure to always trust in the rule of 3.
If I could hook onto them with this scuff. Whoa! Damn hook must be magnetized.